The crystalline halls of the Galactic Senate had never witnessed such pandemonium. Ambassador Zethkar of the Vorthan Empire watched in horrified fascination as the human representative Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the central podium with an expression that could freeze plasma. "You cannot be serious!" wheezed Senator Blorg through his respiratory apparatus, his multiple eyes blinking in rapid succession, a clear sign of distress among his species. "Total war? Over a mining colony?" Admiral Chen's voice cut through the chamber like a monofilament blade. "It wasn't just a mining colony, Senator. It was home to 12,000 human civilians, families, children." Her steel-gray eyes swept across the assembled representatives of 47 species. "And you watched it burn?" The Cathari delegate, resplendent in her bioluminescent robes, raised a delicate hand. "The Xerion Collective's actions were regrettable. But surely we can reach a diplomatic solution. War benefits no one." A bitter laugh escaped Chen's lips. "Diplomatic solution? Like the one we've been attempting for the past 18 months while the Xerians systematically exterminated human settlements across the Outer Rim? While this esteemed body passed resolution after resolution, calling for measured responses and proportional retaliation?" Chancellor Vex Thul, the ancient Thylorian who had presided over the Senate for 3 centuries, leaned forward on his floating dais. His voice carried the weight of eons. "Admiral Chen, humanity has been part of this galactic community for only 50 years. You do not understand the delicate balance we maintain. The Xerion Collective is powerful. Their military might rivals that of any 3 species combined." "You're right," Chen said, her voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried to every corner of the vast chamber. "We don't understand your balance. We don't understand how you can watch genocide and call it politics. We don't understand how you can value stability over justice." She pressed a control on her wrist device, and holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber. Images of burning cities, mass graves, and Xerion troops executing human colonists filled the air. Several delegates recoiled, but Chen's voice remained steady. "What we do understand is that when someone comes for our people, we come for them. All of them." Senator Crackstar of the Maritime Confederation clicked his mandibles nervously. "You speak of total war as if it's simple. Humans possess perhaps a dozen star systems. The Xerions control over 200. Your entire species numbers barely 8 billion. They field armies in the hundreds of billions." "Mathematics," Chen said with a cold smile. "Yes, let's discuss mathematics. Did you know that in our species' brief history we've fought over 16,000 documented wars? We've turned warfare into an art form, a science, a religion. We've studied every conflict our ancestors ever waged and learned from each one." The Aquilan representative, whose people prided themselves on their strategic acumen, scoffed. "Ancient history. Primitive conflicts with chemical propellants and crude nuclear weapons. This is modern warfare." "You're absolutely right," Chen agreed. "This is modern warfare, which is why 3 hours ago simultaneous strikes eliminated 17 Xerion command posts, 43 supply depots, and their primary fleet maintenance facility at Kepler 442b. The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. Chancellor Vex Thul's ancient features contorted with disbelief. "Impossible. The Xerion home system is protected by quantum interdiction fields. Nothing can approach without detection." "Nothing you know about," Chen corrected. "Humans have a saying. If you find yourself in a fair fight, your tactics suck. We don't believe in fair fights." She activated another display, showing tactical readouts of human stealth ships, vessels that seemed to bend space around themselves, becoming invisible to every known detection method. While you debated and passed resolutions, we prepared. While you negotiated with monsters, we built the tools to kill them. The Xerians wanted to test human resolve. They're about to learn what our ancestors meant when they said, "We will fight." Them on the beaches, we will fight them in the streets. We will never surrender. The Vorthon ambassador finally found his voice. You'll be destroyed. Even if you achieve early victories, the Xerians will mobilize their full might. Your species will be extinct within a standard year. Chen's expression didn't change. Perhaps. But we've calculated the cost. Total human military casualties, approximately 60%. Xerion collective casualties. Complete annihilation. Every ship, every soldier, every world they've claimed through conquest. She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. We're willing to trade our civilization for theirs. Madness, whispered the Cathari delegate. Probably, Chen acknowledged. But here's what you need to understand about humans. We remember. We remember every slight, every injustice, every time someone thought we were too small to matter. And we remember our friends. Her gaze swept the chamber one final time. Today, you get to choose which you want to be remembered as. Because when this is over, whether humanity survives or not, the galaxy will know that we don't negotiate with genocidal empires. We erase them. Admiral Chen turned and walked toward the exit, her footsteps echoing in the stunned silence. At the threshold, she paused. Oh, and senators, you might want to evacuate any personnel from Xerion space. We attack again in 6 hours. The doors sealed behind her with finality, leaving the Galactic Senate to contemplate a terrible truth. Sometimes the smallest predator in the ecosystem was the most dangerous, especially when it had nothing left to lose. In the distance, hyperspace distortions marked the passage of human war fleets, carrying death to those who had mistaken mercy for weakness.